If you've been watching our works in progress episodes, you'll be familiar with this MAN TGE we're building. We thought we'd bring together all our footage and put it together to give you a run through of the build. This is a van that we've been building for a customer, and we started off with an initial meeting where we discussed what his needs were for the van, what kind of holidays he goes on, and what his expectations were. We've then taken our standard Storm 2 build and customised it to meet his requirements. He's chosen all the colours, he's chosen all the materials, he's chosen to alter some of the layout to make sure that it does what he wants. So at this point we've already soundproofed and insulated the van to keep it nice and warm in the winter and cool in the summer. We've soundproofed it to make sure that all the road noise is kept to a minimum. And we then start lining the vehicle. We've done a mixture of carpet lining and Alcantara. You wee breathy monster. Katie, can you take her? Good girl, on you go. So before we line the vehicle, we like to cut out all the apertures for windows, vents and any sort of hookups that we're putting into the vehicle. This then allows us to get rid of any metal filings before we start adding materials. Next up, we've carpet lined the pillars throughout the vehicle, and then we have Alcantara lined all the panel work. It's a kind of luxurious automotive suede material which is very soft to the touch and especially nice round about the seating area. For the ceiling we've used oak strip with LED strip lights down through the channels. These give a really nice ambient warm light when they're turned on, and when they're turned off they disappear into the black strips. As this is the front wheel drive version, we've built a platform to make sure that the rear seats are sitting at the same height as the cab seats. We've then covered this with LVT flooring. It's very durable, very hard wearing, and should something go wrong with it, it's much easier to pull up one plank and replace it than it is to redo the whole floor. We've added 300 watts of solar with a semi-flexible panel that will feed into our 300 ampere lithium battery, which comes from Fogstar Drift Pro. It's very easily integrated with our full Victron charging kit. We use that because we think it's better than the rest out there. It's all app controlled, it's all integrated, it's very accessible, it gives you all the information you need right at the touch of your fingers. Our LED lighting's all separated into different zones and with separate switches. Some of it fixed, some of it dimmable to help get the mood right. Under the van we've got an underslung grey water tank and an underslung fresh water tank, both with level sensors which will speak to our CBE control panel for easy reading. We've also fitted a Truma D4E. This is a diesel kit, so this takes a dip into our existing diesel tank, stops you from having to fill up an extra tank. It's fitted with a dipstick which doesn't go all the way to the bottom of the tank, which means that if you run it all night and you're parked in the same spot for 2 weeks, you're still going to be able to start the engine. Our kitchen's designed and built in-house. We use air ply and specific cutouts to try and keep the weight down. We have a Belfast style sink with black fittings, a 2-ring induction hob and a 70 litre under-counter double hinge fridge. In the bathroom we've put a Thetford C403 cassette toilet. It's the one with the automatic flush, so you don't need a separate water tank system. We've got our shower, black shower fittings and a small basin for comfort behind the door. It's a small space but it works really well. In the back we've built a raised bed platform on our custom brackets. It's all built of aluminium so it keeps the weight down again. We've got a sprung bed system in there which helps with the comfort level, but it also helps with ventilation and stops your mattress from going fusty if it's been left for too long. We've got a memory foam mattress that sits on top of that with a nice Alcantara covering for comfort. We've fitted limo tint glass windows in the back with drop down blackout curtains, and there's also a removable double top table which spins out to give the passenger good use as well. Outside the van's sitting on some Rogue alloys, the CC1s with all-terrain tyres. And we've also added a 4-metre Fiamma F80S with a LED light kit. For the front seats, we've utilised the original MAN single seats. We find them very comfortable, very easy to use. We went for the 2 single seats with factory swivels. The factory swivels always just work a little bit better. Also, when you retrofit a swivel, it lifts the seat up by the thickness of the swivel plate. It's usually about 30 to 45 mil, depending on the manufacturer. Whereas when you get them from factory, the actual seat base is lowered to accommodate the swivel plate. So it gives you the same ride height as if you didn't have a swivel fitted, which is just a little bit more comfortable. We then take these seats to our upholsterer, which we do out of house. We have a sport seat upgrade fitted to give you a wee bit of the kind of bucket seat with the side lumbar extensions, and then we also have the shoulders added, kind of like the Recaro race seats, which just kind of gives it a more kind of aggressive kind of look. They're then covered in Napa leather with a Bentley double cross stitch across the middle, and we have our Play Dirty emblem stitched into the back of them. Because we use the double glazed acrylic window units, they don't fit into the exact aperture of the vehicle as they're rectangular. They leave a bit of space round about the window, and they also leave a big gap between them and the side pods. So we like to fill that with a matte black wrap. It's a 3M wrap, which is really good quality. It fills the whole window aperture in matte black and kind of ties the whole thing together. We cut the windows and the hole for the side pods out first, and then we clean it all off, primer it all, and then it goes and gets the wrap fitted. You need to be careful at this point that it's properly cleaned off. There's no little specks of dust, otherwise they'll show up underneath the wrap, which is quite important. The side pods are reinforced fiberglass. They're really strong, really durable. They don't have any thermal quality to them though, so we then add some of our Dodo insulation onto the inside of them. It only brings the kind of length of the bed down by about 5-6 mil once it's compressed either side of the bed, so it's really quite minimal for the extra protection of the warmth that it gives you. We then also Alcantara that, as that's where your head and your feet are going to be contacting, and so you want it to be nice and comfortable. On top of that, we then fit them onto the vehicle with the windows fitted, and then on top of the Alcantara we then fit our little window surrounds, and we put our magnets into those. They're all glued into place underneath the Alcantara, so that when you put your blind on, it magnetises onto it without seeing the magnets. It's all kind of hidden in behind. For our countertops, we like to use solid surface. It's like a mixture of minerals and resin, and it provides a really strong material. It's got 100% waterproof. You can have it in all sorts of different thicknesses. We use a 6mm on these countertops just to try and keep the weight down as much as we can, and then we use a 12mm round about the skirts that go around it. It looks like it's about a 40mm thick slab. If it was that, it would be really, really heavy. So to keep it down, we cut out as much of the weight as we possibly can, and we use a plywood board underneath it just so that we're not completely reliant on the strength of the solid surface itself. We fit that then onto some draw runners, which allows us to pull it out. Got a little wheel mechanism inside to allow it to run nice and smoothly without sliding and scratching across the undersurface. And then under that we have another solid surface surround that goes round about our sink. The worktop sits, we've got a small splashback, and then it goes onto our tile background. A lot of people ask us about our tile backgrounds. They seem to just assume that it's real tiles. We did one vehicle like that years ago. The problem with that is that if you use real tiles, not only are they very heavy, but as the van flexes, the grouting in between, it would all crack and then the tiles eventually pop off. You can get rubberized grouting, which works better, but even with that, over time the tiles always end up popping off as the van moves. It's better to use a tile wall. It's plastic, it's like a double thickness, comes in all sorts of different patterns, it's 3-dimensional, and it's one piece, so it's never going to pop off, it's never going to move, and it's really lightweight, which at the end of the day is one of the most important things in the van. We see a lot of people fitting gantries into their vans online, and they're fitting them just in plywood or even worse in MDF, and then they're painting them. This is fine if it's your own self-build, however it's going to be very heavy. You're really looking to bring the weight down with everything that you put in the van. Try and use air ply if we can in our gantries, so it's like a sandwich board. It's got a 3mm wood, and then it's got a sandwich of closed cell foam in the middle, and then it's got another 3mm wood in the bottom before the faces go into it. This is really lightweight. I can lift up an 8-foot by 4-foot sheet just with one hand, and then anywhere we can't do that, if we have to put heavy fixings into the van, or if it's going to be load bearing, if it's not suitable for the air ply, we'll cut out areas. If you're only seeing one side of the board, then we'll rebate half the thickness of the board in the back just to bring the weight down. Our longest gantry, you can actually lift it yourself. It's a one-man lift. We just take 2 of us to get it into the van, just to make sure that we don't damage anything on the van or damage anything on the gantry when we're lifting it in. For this van we took our standard storm conversion and we did a couple of changes. We get rid of the tall slimline fridge, which we have sandwiched between the double seat and the bathroom, and we removed that to give more space to the seating area. We moved the double seats further back, giving a bit more room for the table. This is the first van we fitted the double table, so we've got a swing out extension underneath the table so it can come right into the passenger seat's lap. To do that we went from the 90-litre tall fridge and we went for the Dometic 70-litre under counter fridge with the double hinge doors that we usually fit into our Storm 5 conversions or into our Cala conversions. We've then had to widen our kitchen unit to accommodate this fridge. We took a bit of time thinking about whether we'd widen the whole lot or not. We decided that we're going to move the fridge a wee bit closer to the sliding door overhanging the step, and so I built a different back onto the kitchen. Rather than having the one piece going all the way straight across to the back of the kitchen unit, I had 2 pieces joined in the middle by a kind of bottle shaped wedge, and I cut rebates into it so that they would interlock and make it easier to build. It's kind of small details like that are part of the initial design stage that make it so much easier for the guys in the workshop when it comes to building it, knowing exactly where things are going to go. If it slots straight into place once it's been cut in the CNC, then it's a lot easier for them rather than having to measure and get everything nice and square. So yeah, we take a lot more time doing the design process for each van and tweaking little bits and pieces. There's hours and hours that are spent into it, so it's really important for you to do a proper plan of the work before you start your build. If you're a self-builder or you're interested in building your own van in the future, then follow along for tips and tricks. And don't be afraid to send us your tips and tricks if you've already been building your van. We are a bespoke conversion company, so each build that we do is slightly different every time. We try and progress the builds as we go, constantly learning and constantly evolving. Follow our videos to see our next build, which will be an off-road, off-grid camper with our Expedition Storm Pack for the outside, including an Expedition roof rack, LED lighting kit all round, lots of additional exterior extras. Don't forget to like and subscribe for all future videos.